Alright, let's talk about Steven Universe. And we are done with the last arc that we did a video about. So now we're on to a bunch of filler episodes until we get into the final group of episodes here. This episode is, these two episodes are not really that great of episodes. First of all, we have the new Crystal Gems. The new Crystal Gems is a pretty boring episode that felt like fan fiction. Basically, because the gems left to Earth, or not to Earth, to space to rescue Greg. Of course, we saw that they left Connie, Peridot, and Lapis in charge of Beach City with Pumpkin. And so the episode is about the characters cosplaying as fucking the Crystal Gems to, so Peridot pretends to be Garnet, Lapis pretends to be Amethyst, and Connie pretends to be Steven, and Pumpkin, I guess, is Pearl. I don't know. The thing that bothers me about this episode is, like, on premise, even this episode could have been stronger if they were actually, like, I don't know, could corrupt a gem monster that the gems forgot about ended up in the episode. Like, it'd be funny if there was just a short gag of in the arc that we just had, the Peridot and Lapis call them, and they're unable to pick up the phone, and because they're trying to figure out how to deal with this corrupted gym monster. And then when you come back to this episode and add that context to it, I'm like, okay, that makes it better. But they're not really doing anything but washing cars and doing property damage, and then it's also like Peridot admires Amethyst the most, not Garnet. Like, I think that was very clear through her redemption arc that she went through. That, like, she actually really loves Amethyst, and they're friends, and they hang out. She doesn't hang out with Garnet. She still doesn't fully understand Garnet. That makes her interesting to her, but, you know, she doesn't admire her like that. Lapis has the personality of Garnet, so it just feels like all these, like, fanfiction-esque vibe to it that just is not great. Not that, sorry, I'm reading one of the titles, I almost said the wrong name. Next episode was Storm in the Room. And this episode this one actually is plot relevant, but I don't really like watching it. This episode is about Steven going into the room again, and I just, to kind of ask for some questions about what Pink Diamond did. And I really don't like this episode. Because first of all, I can't buy that Steven's such naive as a character that he would go into that room again. That room did some pretty traumatic, fucked up stuff to him twice now. You really think he would go into that room again? And then, you know, the emotional catharsis he has with Rose, or at least the room's version of Rose, I think was powerful. But just, I don't think it makes for a very fun, entertaining episode. It makes you feel pretty miserable by the end of it. And I just, you know, I feel like some of these episodes where Steven's starting to learn to question things didn't really have enough build-up. They just kind of come out of nowhere this season, and so they feel kind of drastic character notes. To me, anyways. I don't really like how they come out. And I don't think they are very strong of episodes, so. But, 2 more episodes. We got 3 more filler episodes before the new big story arc. So, might do those all in one video next week, but I'm not sure. Kind of want to get to season 5 as soon as possible. Because there's a lot more interesting stuff that happens in season 5 than here. So, we'll see. Let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe, though.